Hi, hello, welcome back to our channel Feel Good Life by Tripura. How are you friends? I'm doing really good, and today's video is something special that I'm going to do my video in English as per the request of my subscribers. I'm doing the intermittent fasting video in English, so I'm going to cover the basics of intermittent fasting in this video. So if you're interested, watch the video till the end without skipping. So if you're watching my channel for the first time, please do subscribe to my channel. Also like my videos and share my videos to your friends only if you like it. So now, without any delay, let's get started. Intermittent fasting is one of the easiest ways to lose weight and maintain yourself healthy. So I have lost around 13 to 14 kgs of my weight after my delivery only through intermittent fasting. So I thought I'll share all my experience in my channel so that it will be helpful for many people who are suffering from overweight or who are interested to maintain their health in proper. So I have decided to do intermittent fasting videos in this way, and as per my subscribers request, I'm doing it in English too, so that it would reach a lot more people than what I expected. So what is intermittent fasting? It's just an eating pattern. It's not like any other dieting that you do. It's not like cutting off the foods you eat. It's just a eating pattern, which is like you eat in certain regular intervals and you fast for the remaining time of the day. So for example, you say we are having 24 hours a day. Out of 24 hours we are having around 8 to 9 hours of sleep, maybe 6 hours for some people, sleeping hours. Normally we do fasting during the sleeping hours because we don't eat anything during the sleeping hours, where our body gets recovering or healing. Body goes with a healing process during that sleeping hours. So if we maintain this fasting for the long time, the healing process will be done very perfectly and we can be very healthy. And similarly, when there is no proper intake of calories, what do you say, like if the body is not receiving the expected amount of calories, it uses the stored fat as fuel. So intermittent fasting, this is the way how we lose the weight. We fast for more than 12 hours because our body has a mechanism of consuming the food or using up the food what we consume for 12 hours, whether either it may be digestion or either it may be processing way or so. Completely it takes around 12 hours. So after 12 hours of this fasting period, our body will be waiting for the food. So when we did not take that food which is required, it automatically consumes the stored up fat of our body. In this way, we start losing our weight. Okay, so let's see what are the types of intermittent fasting and how to do it. Okay, so there are around 6 to 7 types of intermittent fasting, out of which I will explain you the easiest one, the medium one, and the toughest part of it. And also I will let you know like which is the best way to do intermittent fasting in this video, right? So what is the first type of intermittent fasting? That is 12:12, in which we will eat for the 12 hours and we fast for remaining 12 hours. As per my knowledge, we normally will be, so let's say in 12:12. So 12:12 will not be so effective, but it's the easiest way of doing intermittent fasting. It's why it's not effective is because our body takes 12 hours for for using up the food we take and dividing the nutrients and waste of the food that we take in, and the whole process will be done in 12 hours. So once the 12 hours is completed, we are taking the food again. So 12:12 is not that much effective, and in regular daily basis of our routine we will be in 12:12. So I don't suggest 12:12 for anybody. Instead, you can start your intermittent fasting with the second phase, the second type of intermittent fasting, that is 16:8, where we have a eating window of 8 hours and the fasting window of 16 hours. So we eat 3 meals, which is breakfast, lunch and dinner, within 8 hours of a day where you set your eating window, and the remaining 16 hours would come under fasting window. Okay, so what I would suggest is avoid snacking in between your meals. So you're having your breakfast, lunch and dinner, right? Normally we in Indians or any human beings will be eating like breakfast and then snacking in between, and then lunch and then snacking in between, and then dinner. So we're having 5 meals a day in total. This is not acceptable. So what we do is, let us only take breakfast, lunch and dinner and eat whatever you want in these 3 meals. Okay, so in this way we can do 16:8. In 16:8, keeping those 12 hours aside, we will be having 4 hours to burn our fat. So a little amount of fat will be burned in 16:8. So this is also one of the easiest way of doing intermittent fasting. Anybody who are interested to do the intermittent fasting, I suggest you to start with 16:8, where you eat for 8 hours and where you fast for 16 hours, right? So I hope you got the 16:8. And what is the next type? There are 2 types in between where I don't suggest at all, which is 5:2, where you say like you eat for 5 days a week and you fast for 2 days a week. Fast is not completely 0 calorie diet or 0 calorie food, whatever. I don't suggest you to do those 2 days continuous fasting. That fast is nothing but you limit your calories to 500 or 600 calories. Those normal, in 5:2, those normal 5 days you will be having the regular diet what you take in, and those remaining 2 days where you will be fasting, you will be having limited food where you limit your calories to 500 calories, right? And the next type of intermittent fasting is alternate day fasting. The name itself suggests you eat for one day and you fast for the next day. So this is also not suggestible because our body does not adjust to this kind of eating pattern. So I personally don't prefer this or don't suggest this to anyone. Okay, and the next type of intermittent fasting is 20:4, where we call it as warrior diet 2. So in this 20:4, we will have a eating window of 4 hours. Let's say 12 we start our meal at 12 o'clock and we end our meal by 4 o'clock. So we're having 4 hours of eating window, and the remaining 20 hours will completely be fasting window, right? So in this 20:4 diet or warrior diet, there is a lot of chance to lose weight, and most of the people this is called as a medium part of intermittent fasting. You know, it's not that tough or it's not that easy to do, because we normally keep eating and eating and eating from morning to evening, and suddenly if we have to limit our food to 4 hours and we have to fast for 20 hours, means it's not an easy task, definitely. So I tell this as the medium part of intermittent fasting. But if you do this type of intermittent fasting, you can see a very good result of losing weight or being healthy or whatever it is. So the last one and the toughest part of intermittent fasting is 1 meal a day, which is also called as OMAD. And I have done this OMAD, and I'm in this I was in this for around 1.5 months or 2 months, and I have observed a huge amount of weight loss in this particular diet, which is called as OMAD. This is also called as 23:1, where we will have a eating window of 1 hour and a fasting window of 23 hours. Okay. So you might be having a doubt like, what is the fasting mean? Do you mean can't we take anything in this fasting period? I never said that. So you can take few drinks in fasting period. Fasting is nothing but you have to take the foods which have 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 calories or whatever. In this fasting window, we don't want our insulin resistance to spike up. Once the insulin resistance has spiked up, we cannot control it. So we don't take foods which has calories. So what are the 0 calorie foods? I will let you know here. The drinks to have in intermittent fasting are, I will definitely try to do a different or separate video particularly for this intermittent fasting drinks. I do have it in Telugu in my channel, but I'll do it in English too. So I will give a rough sketch of it here. So we can have water, we can have green tea, we can have black tea, we can have black coffee, we can have apple cider vinegar drink. I don't know how many of you know this, but it's one of the very good drink to lose weight, and it's too healthy too. Also we can have matcha coffee, But we cannot have buttermilk, we cannot have coconut water or tender coconut or whatever. We cannot have these. Any drink that has at least 1 calorie, you have to avoid it. Only 0 calorie foods are acceptable in this fasting period. And you may have a doubt like, can we have a diet coke or diet soda, you know, a diet cool drink where we have 0 calorie written in the bottle, but that contains artificial sweeteners or artificial sugars, which are not acceptable during fasting period. So I don't suggest you to have a diet cool drinks or diet coke or whatever. But you can have plain soda, which is just water with air pockets. And one more thing is, try to take 3 to 4 liters of water minimum per day during this intermittent fasting, which keeps you away from heavy hunger. Normally people who eats a lot will have this hunger or cravings or whatever during when you start this intermittent fasting, which can be suppressed with this water itself. If it's a huge hunger, you'll have some giddiness and all. If that is the case, you can have some little food where you have to control yourself. You say around 1 calorie drink like lemon water or so. But I don't suggest you to have heavy foods during the fasting period. So most of the people, hunger can be suppressed only by drinking water. So you can try having little more water during these fasting periods. And I have completed the basics of the intermittent fasting. So I will suggest pattern of doing intermittent fasting. The way how I have done to reduce my weight for around 15 kgs. So what I have done is, I have started my intermittent fasting with 16:8. So I had a eating window of 8 hours and then 16 hours of fasting. So I have done this for around 1 week. And once I thought my body is adjusted, then I have moved to 20:4 directly, where I had 2 meals in 4 hours, and I have a fasting window of 20 hours. Okay. And here one more thing is, I don't have a habit of drinking black coffee, black tea, matcha coffee, anything. I only used to have a plain soda, apple cider vinegar and green tea mostly. Not even apple cider vinegar much, only a glass of apple cider vinegar per day. And mostly I used to have green tea, 2 cups of green tea in the morning and 2 cups of green tea in the evening. During warrior diet, I used to do warrior diet during 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So morning 2 cups of green tea and evening 2 cups of green tea used to cut off my hunger. So once I have completed 10 days of warrior diet, I have moved directly to the 1 meal a day. So OMAD. And in OMAD, I have continued around 1.5 to 2 months. Completely, I took around 3.5 to 4 months to cut down my weight to 15 kg. OMAD is the most helpful out of all the types of intermittent fasting for me, particularly to lose most of my weight. So, but I don't suggest everyone doing this OMAD, because OMAD is really tough to do, as I have experienced. So if you can try OMAD after your body is adjusted to previous types of intermittent fasting, where you say 16/8 or 20/4 or whatever. At the end, after you think your body is adjusted to everything, you can go for OMAD. But once you have started your OMAD, you have to continuously do it for 14 days without any cheat days or cheat meals. So after 14 days, you can have a cheat meal of 1 day per 1 week. Okay. So friends, I hope I have covered all the basic topics of intermittent fasting in this video, and I will keep doing intermittent fasting videos of mine in English too, so that I can give my experience or reach to many people. So drop a comment down with a question or whatever query you have, and I will revert back to you with the answer, right? Hope you got my point, and hope you understood my video. This is the first time I'm doing video in English in my particular channel, Feel Good Life by Tripura. So if anybody are watching my videos for the first time, please do subscribe to my channel. Also like my videos and share my videos. So I'll be back with much more videos and much interesting videos. So stay tuned to my channel, Feel Good Life by Tripura. Have a great day. Bye bye.